Dave, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I am very interested in your retail prowess because you have written a book, David
Yes.
versus Goliath. You have tons of tips and tricks, not only just for the tobacco space, but any kind of business. Did you get those from other businesses or were they all your ideas?
They are, they're, some of them, of the promotions, we start off with the simplest, which is how many jelly beans are in the jar, right?
Right.
Just to explain to people how simple these things are. So there's an old product that ends up happening there. But as a cigar retailer, we don't have to use jelly beans. We can use cigar bands. If you were a hairdresser, it can be big clips, hair clips that are in there or whatever. But you take something that exists somewhere in some cases and you make it your own, or you turn it into, in our case, the cigar industry. So
Love it.
that's how it starts. And the business tricks and stuff is from making a whole bunch of mistakes. It's not from being so smart, but you learn from your mistakes.
Yeah.
And not to make those same mistakes twice, and then you figure out what it is. And I've been doing it so long, I said, let me share this with other people. They don't need to burn their hand on the stove, because I burn my hand on the stove. So I'm telling you, don't burn your hand on the stove. And some people are going to touch it anyway just to see, but I'm telling you it's hot. Don't burn your hand on the stove. In restaurants, and I saw it here while I was in Las Vegas, that the waiter came over with the dish and brought it down. And he says, be careful, the dish is hot. And the person he put that in front of was sitting at my table, immediately touched it. And I go, isn't that interesting that the guy is telling you, don't touch this, it's hot, and they do, and they go, wow, it's hot. It's like you don't believe it, but believe it. These things are in here so that you don't make the same mistake that I made.
Right. Love it. Love it. When you started your retail location, did you buy the retail location or start it?
Started it from scratch. I was a nightclub disc jockey. I had nothing to do in the daytime, and as a disc jockey, I would get one cigar every day, light it up at the beginning of the night, and as the night went on, nobody's coming into the club early on. Nobody wants to be the first one in the club, so I'd light a cigar and I'd play the next song. By the time the cigar was done, there was enough people in the audience at that point to put it down and really start working the music and playing the night.
That's awesome.
So I would always go into a place that had cigars, and I said, I do nothing in the daytime anyway. I happen to love it. When I go in there, there was something to it. I love what it smelled like. I liked the customer that came in, and I said, I'm going to open a little cigar store. So I opened two guys opening a smoke shop, and something to do in the day, and praying that it would build enough that I could quit the nightclub business, which I did for 12 years, entertaining in nightclubs. The problem with the nightclub business is I got older and my audience stayed the same age.
Yeah.
So I said, I can only do this for so long that I have to find my way out of this. And it became the cigar business at that point. And now 38 years, I still do it, and I hope to do it till the day I die. I love it.
Love that.
Love it.
Okay. So when opening, if you can go back 38 years, opening the store, what was like the one thing you remember being the hardest thing to overcome just to get the doors open?
It was tough. And, in those days, no computers or anything like that, so I'd keep it on a notebook of what happened. And I'd put down how much we did that day, what was the weather like, and trying to figure out, on a nice weather day, is it busy? On a lousy weather day, is it busy? Cold, New England. So we have 4 seasons in New England, and they were dramatically different. And try to start figuring before, again, there's no computers to put this in a spreadsheet at that time, but try to calculate, because I was self-employed my whole life. I had a restaurant before the nightclub business too. So I want to somehow figure out, do I need extra people? And when would I need extra people? The hours, I opened at 6 o'clock in the morning and I closed at 8 o'clock at night at the beginning. Now we open at 10 o'clock in the morning. We close at 6 o'clock at night because we figured out, okay, it's not worth these hours or whatever, but we still do 7 days a week. I look at that and say, is it possible to get rid of a day? And knock on wood, it's too good. No, I can't do it. But it pays for the employees. But that is the thing, the unknown, right? We don't know, so you have to throw everything at it. We're going to open way too many hours. We're going to stay too late, come too early, open every single day. try new product because we don't know what's working. So it was a trial and error, nowadays with social media and stuff, and especially at a convention like this, the PCA, which is not just a trade show, it's a convention, you get to talk to other retailers. And my first few years, I didn't join at the time the RTDA. My first few years, I was in there early though. I think this is my 31st PCA. What was RTDA in those days. But when I did come the first time, and everybody was like me, that, you know, they do exactly what I do. And I got to sit with them at the annual breakfast that happened and stuff and talk to them and say, where's your store? Hey, how does this do for, what do you do for labor costs? What is this? And we get to talk and things like that. It was fantastic. And
is that still happening here? Are you still sharing ideas?
It still happens. And being the old guy on the block or something, it's more of them coming to ask me, which I'm happy to help and do it. But I need to learn from them too, because especially when they're younger entrepreneurs, and how do I deal with the younger customer?
Right.
Because my customer was my age. My young customer I was 25 years old. So the youngest cigar smoker that was around was possibly 25 years old at the time.
You're speaking the same language.
Yes. So now I have to say to them, listen, how does it work with this generation of they're saying to me, how's it work? I tell you how it works with a 60-year-old, but how's it working with a 30-year-old?
Right.
You know, you're 30 years old with your retention of keeping people and stuff. So there's so much out here. This is so important, not for just buying. You know, it's a trade show. What kind of deal are you going to get? What kind of deal? I can make $1 million on information I can gather from other retailers that are going to help me not make a mistake.
That's an interesting standpoint. So if you come here and just get information that helps you be a better tobacconist, you're saying you can make $1 million.
Oh my God. We talk about insurance. You talk about, you know, all things that we have to deal with, smoking laws within your state, and how to get around shipping and different, you know, there's so much to it. And you don't know what you're going to come in for. I don't come in and say I'm going to learn something about shipping today.
No.
But it comes to me and I go, really, that conversation evolves into it and said, do you know the company you deal with? Oh, yeah, it's this company, and you can do this in a different way of there. And I go, okay, and I have that information, and we receive a lot of product. Okay, if I'm going to save $50 on every shipment, and I have 500 shipments that come in, holy mackerel,
wow.
Yeah, so, and that becomes that. So there's so much to that. It's not the buy 10, get one free. That helps too, but there's stuff out there that invaluable lessons to be learned at being with your people that are in the same business as you.
Yeah.
So it doesn't happen at your own house, right? At your own store.
No. And do you still carry around a notepad?
Today I'm on the little notepad on the phone, but I am with my regular briefcase and stuff, paper calendar, notepad that's in it, notepad by the bed. I think of things in the middle of the night or something, and I'm gonna forget.
Same as me.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, and Matt Booth said this, he's like, right before you're about to fall asleep, it comes into your brain and you're like, that's a good idea. I have to write it down too. I get all these ideas. Write them down.
And if I don't, and I learned this lesson the hard way, I got it, I got to remember this tomorrow, and it was something I thought of last night that I have to remember tomorrow, and it's gone.
My wife knows. I'll get out of the bed at 2 o'clock in the morning, and she's like, what were you doing? I was like, I was writing down a video idea.
There we go.
I was writing down a marketing idea.
Because you'll forget it if you don't do it.
Oh, absolutely. Right? You think you'll remember because it's so vivid.
Yes.
In that kind of lucid mind state. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Good advice.
Even if it's a couple of notes, just a couple of notes to get me to where I was at that moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Good advice.
Yeah.
Okay. A shop always has a culture. And I want to get away from what type of culture you're trying to build. Don't like that question. So, think hard. If your store was a famous person, what or who would they be based on the persona that you have gotten and the culture you have gotten from your store?
Boy, that is a tough one. And I have 3 different brick and mortar retail locations.
Give me one.
And it depends
Are they all different?
They're all different, and here's the interesting thing: the time of day is different also. So in the morning, you have the retirees that come in, and
what famous person is that? What persona is that?
And you know, in a brick and mortar store, you have a guy that was a lawyer, and a guy that was a doctor, and a guy that was a trash collector. And
I'm not talking about the people who are in there. I'm talking about the culture and the vibe. If I walked in, am I hitting Jack Nicholson in the morning, or am I hitting Arnold Schwarzenegger?
No, you hit Jack Nicholson. That's because it's a little crazy sometimes, and I think Jack Nicholson's a little crazy
with
sometimes.
The bed head.
Yeah,
and the craziness.
And people have said so many times that this is a sitcom. This is a sitcom, and I've heard it since the day we started in the business, and we've had many locations and stuff, but it's never happened. And you know, I was reached out years ago when remember the guys down south that had the quack
yeah, Duck Dynasty.
Duck Dynasty. So that whole thing was evolving, and then they whoever it was that did that put that thing together, not of that family that did it, but the
producer.
Yeah. They said, you know, it's done its thing. We think the New England accent is going to be the next hot thing, and we're thinking a cigar store would be it. And the culture and the way people are, you know, they looked at maybe the barber shop and all this stuff, and I was talking to the lady about it. She says, we're thinking the cigar shop. I said, well, this has been said to me a million times, and it is a sitcom, and you have all walks of life. So she said, will you put down each character? You know, just go down there now and look at your audience and say, okay, you got the handicapped guy, and this is his story or whatever it is. And then you got this guy, the know-it-all guy, right?
Yeah.
The Cliff Clavin.
Oh, the Cliff Clavin facts.
Right. So you got this guy and this guy. So I put it all together, and I put a little thing to it, and a long time went by, and I didn't hear from her. So I ended up reaching out, and I said, I guess it didn't work out. I'm just checking on you because I never heard you didn't like what you saw. And she said, she emailed me back, and I call you right now. I want to talk to you. I said, yeah. And she said, listen, we saw it, and we all went crazy. We loved the whole thing. The reason why you haven't heard from us is the smoking aspect to it. And nobody will play it. So we're not going to able to get it on. And we said we're going to have to scrap the whole cigar shop idea, but we loved it.
Man.
And she said, we would all go crazy and say, this is our guy. This is the next thing. And it doesn't have to be my store. It's any cigar store in the country. This is how it is over there. And the ball busting and all this that goes on. It's a wonderful place.
Yeah.
And they're talking sports. They could be talking politics. They could be, but it's always with a cigar. You know, did you watch the documentary on Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's smoking a cigar the whole time. And he says when he becomes the governor, they say, okay, that's it. No more cigars. And he says, no, I'm putting a tent down there. And that's where I'm going to have my meetings, outside in a tent, inside, right where his office was. And he said, I accomplished more in that tent over a cigar.
100%.
And I always thought that that's the way it is. And it is. I bet wars would be ended if we could have a cigar with
I always wanted, and I think this came up when I was talking to somebody else in a video, but if we could, as tobacconists, guide a diplomatic meeting between heads of countries.
Yeah, we play the host.
We play the host, we cut, we light if they don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
And we let them get into it.
Listen,
and as they're discussing, they have to keep smoking the cigar. Would the outcome be more diplomatic and fair than heated and, aggressive?
Me smoking peace pipe, right?
They did it.
They did it. So it's not new, but it can evolve. Instead of the peace pipe, it becomes the cigar, and you'll save the world. It could save the world. The cigar that saved the world. Is the movie, right?
Let's do the study.
There we go.
Let's do the study. Let's see if this would actually work. I don't know how to do that, but it'd be fun. Okay, so we got a lot going on. What I wanted to touch on, because I felt this when I went to my local shop, the ball busting, the camaraderie. I don't want to call them cliques, but the familiarity of the people. And they're older than me. When I turned 18, which was the legal smoking age, there was a huge hurdle for me to get over based on the,
walking into the
oh
clique.
my God. And you know, they're looking at you, you're young, like, what are you doing in here? It's not a negative thing, but they're just curious about you as much as you're curious about the cigars in the humidor.
Yeah.
What do you recommend to that person that wants to walk in, or to the retailer that needs to figure out how to greet that newcomer?
Okay, so we have figured it out. So here's the tip.
Is it in the book?
It is not.
What the heck? Volume 2?
Volume 2,
Let's
right?
go.
So that's how you sell volume 2. But we realized that somebody comes in and there's the guy, the regular gang is already there, and he's looking and say, yeah, you can have a cigar and sit down if you want with the guy. No, I'm all right. You can just feel the uncomfortableness. So what we try to do at that point is we have a quick conversation with them. And, oh, thanks for coming. It's your first time. And what's your name? Oh, Bill. Bill, nice to meet you. Where are you from? Oh, from such and such city or whatever. It's first time in here. Yes, it is. Maybe you're going to stay and have a cigar with us. Would think, yeah, maybe I will. Well, let's look around. We grab a cigar for him and stuff and say, come with me for a second. Hey, guys, this is Bill. He's from Revere. This is his first time in here. That's Joe and Tom and whatever. Bill, what do? You start the conversation. And he says, oh, I'm in such and such. Oh, maybe you can connect a dot somewhere over here. He says, hey, sit with the guys, enjoy. If there's any question you have for them, you just made the thing happen.
So you played basically facilitator to a
matchmaker.
Yeah.
By the way, if there's different seating areas within there, you can actually pick the right area for them. I can pick the right store for them, and I can pick the right friends for them also that I think would match well with him based on what I can figure out at that point.
So when I typically walk in with like my black eyeliner, black heavy metal stuff, mohawk,
maybe
who are you pairing me with?
Yeah, maybe not
Bill.
Maybe Jack Nicholson, right?
yeah. Does Bono visit your store at all?
No, he doesn't.
How many famous people have visited your store? Do you know?
Lots of athletes. Back in the day, Red Auerbach was a regular customer. He was the coach for the Boston Celtics, the one that would light a cigar when they were ahead in the game. He was very connected
superstitious
to the. He would say it's over. You know, he was the coach of the team, and all of a sudden he'd take a cigar out, and the announcers would say, "Oh my God, Red Auerbach's taking the cigar out of his pocket right now. He's calling it. It's over." And they'd light the cigar. In other words, that's it. And the game isn't over yet, but he already called it. It's over. You know, so he was famous for that. Lots of sports athletes. You know, we have an online presence also that we've had. Bill Clinton bought cigars from us a few different times. We wonder if maybe he bought the magic cigar. Who ends up knowing?
Let's see.
Right? Who do we have? We have Kid Rock is a regular. Yep.
Regular?
Arturo Fuente, short story. Yep. Regular. He's online. You know, they call.
Got it.
They call. Never came in the store.
Do they have like a person that calls you and not them?
Both.
Really?
It can be that person, or it can be, you know, this is who the credit card is under their name and using their credit card.
Okay.
Both has happened.
Anyone that you can't name? Like, are there certain ones that were like, I don't want you to name me, or tell anyone that I bought from you?
Not that they end up saying it, but, you know, political people that maybe somebody would have a problem with. The Reverend Al Sharpton, for instance, he buys from us. And people say, oh my God, I don't like his type of politics or whatever. But we get them on every single end. We want them all. We want them all, and we get them all too. And I'm certainly not talking politics with him or anything.
Right.
Here's his box of Brand X that he wants. And
how do you do that in the shop? Do you let people talk about politics, or do you stop it?
We don't stop it, but we don't play it any longer. You know, it used to be on the TVs.
You turn off the news station.
Correct. So we don't want it anymore
smart.
Because it was very negative. And I'll tell you, we never put TVs in the store, and the culture was much, much better. But on 9/11, when that happened, one of my employees said, can I run across the street to Best Buy and grab a TV? Because the whole world was changing at that moment. So I said, okay. And we got the TV, and it never left. And
Oh my God.
I'm sorry that it ever came.
Right.
It came because of some crisis that was going on and did it, but we should have put it back in the box and returned it, or we should have took it home, or we gave it away, or
Broke
whatever.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, it fell off the wall.
Because I don't like it. Now, we remodeled one of our lounges in one of our 3 stores recently, and the TVs went back up, but they went on mute with the with words. We want conversation to end up happening, and that's what we want. And
do you feel confident that you could remove them?
no, there'll be a pushback for sure. The people don't want it.
What kind of pushback? Are they not going to come? Are they not going to support you? Are they not going to buy from you?
Probably not. I think we'll be okay.
Then do it.
I should.
Let's go.
I should.
Put your money where your mouth is.
Because that was a mistake.
Do it.
I don't like it, and there's
Clocks
less
on the wall. You got clocks on the wall?
Do we have clocks on one? Maybe not.
Maybe not. You don't know?
I don't think we have clocks.
When I worked in retail, Jeff said, no clocks on the wall. I don't want anyone worried about the time while they're in here.
Wow, that's interesting, because in Las Vegas, which is where we are, there's no clocks on the casino floor, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I know.
And
I didn't go to sleep last night.
Oh, boy. Okay.
So that's interesting. Is there any other things? I mean, you regret the TV.
Yes.
I challenge you to take the TVs out. One location. Would you
Way to
do it?
start, yeah.
You want to shake on it?
All right.
You're going to do it?
Yeah.
I'm going to follow
listen,
up.
I'm a big tester. I test. So having 3 stores, the beautiful thing is, by the way, if you're thinking of, let me open 3 stores because I'll make 3 times as much money, that's not, I know mathematically it seems like it does, but no, it doesn't work.
Why?
It just doesn't. So the more is not necessarily the better of the bunch. But what I like about the 3 stores is I get to test.
Are they too close together, or are they
Maybe
spread out?
20 miles apart from each other.
Okay.
And
that's pretty close.
And we share some of the same customer also. So when we opened a store near the first store, the manager of the store said, yeah, one of our competitors eating away at some of our customers. And I said, well, who's that? And he said, 2 Guys Smoke Shop, because we were stealing customers from ourselves. Which if you're going to take them from somebody, you might as well take them from yourself rather than hurt somebody else. So, but they share. So what's wrong with a customer sharing the customer? But the expenses that go along with it, but it's another whole subject. But I do test, sometimes testing brands, testing locations of where the brand goes, what goes where and why, inside the book, right? Very important. Supermarkets got it down to a science. It's their jobs. That's all they do. Is what goes where and why.
It's got to be pulled off that shelf by the consumer. They can't walk around and hand sell at a grocery store.
Nope. And we own a cigar store, and this is where it goes, is the wrong answer. Why does it go there? And you have to have a really good reason. So we're moving stuff around. Also, it's interesting when you move stuff around. A guy that has blinders on and just goes to the left and goes to his box.
You're the second person that said that.
Oh.
When you move it. So Daryl Boyle, he moves stuff at least once a month. And I asked him how much. He said 10%.
Yes, absolutely true.
Really?
Absolutely.
Do you do it more than once a month?
I would say once a quarter.
Once a quarter?
Yeah.
So, kind of pick, but at least,
There'll be a lot of it because we're in a trade show. I just bought new stuff, so things have to find a thing. So it ends up happening a shift again.
But you'll make a conscious choice to do more movement than you actually need to.
And what do you move? You move your slowest movers to see, are they slow movers or are they in the wrong place? What ends up happening? When you're going through the grocery store and you get to the end and there's candy bars and mints and all that stuff like this, you know how much moves in that little section? What do you have at your register, by your register? What impulse item do you have?
Right.
Well, some of the impulse items I have, we sell tens of thousands of these things. Nobody came in for them. It just sells. Bottle of water, by the way, it's our number 1 SKU.
No way.
Bottle of water is our number 1 SKU of all. It doesn't matter what cigars they smoke, they grab a bottle of water, whether they're coming or hanging out or whatever, but it's some oddball things end up being the people from Vertigo Lighters, the Vertigo Cyclone, right? That lighter. They said to me, I was going to just pull it out of my pocket, and I left it over there. Nope, I do have it.
Got it.
So let me do a little quick ad for the Vertigo lighter, folks. Here's a Vertigo lighter, and by the way, most retailers are selling this lighter for $10. I sell it for $12.99. I sell more Vertigo lighters than any state in the United States. And
state. So
any
all
state
of the retailers put together in that state, you outsell them.
I outsell them. So
hold it up real quick. That is the lighter.
That is.
Because you can see the fluid, and it's big, and it's easy for the customer. It has a lid so that it doesn't get all ashed up, and it's triple flame, but it's not too aggressive. Yeah, you can sell this all day long. The only thing I wish is it had a flip up so you can turn.
Yeah, would be better. But it's a workhorse that it lights every single time you light it.
That's a golf bag. That's a car. You can buy like 6 of those.
And they're
throw them everywhere.
Yep, and they're running a special on it at the show, so I'm going to buy tens of thousands of them because that's how many I move.
Tens of
thousands. So they bump into me the first time, and it was at a TAA trade show. And he said, I meet him at the bus going to the resort where we're going to have the convention. And he says, this is my name. What's your name? And I said, David Garofalo. He goes, oh my God. And he pulls out his paperwork. And on his paperwork, he shows me, find David Garofalo. So I said, oh my God, what did I do? And he said, you sell more of these lighters than anybody that there is. What's the trick? He says, are you selling them really cheap? I said, well, honestly, I charge more than everybody else. I'm charging 30% more than the suggested retail. And he says, how are you doing it? I said, it's a $10 suggested retail. I sell it for $13.99, $12.99. And he says, how do you do it? I said, well, let me show you. And I pull it out of my pocket because I carry it on the plane. I do everything. So I said, it's good.
You carry that on the plane?
Yeah.
And they don't take it.
You fill it all the way to the top and you turn the flame adjustment down and it's a broken lighter and it doesn't show up as anything. Plastic body. It's pretty awesome. I put it in the washer and dryer. It still works. Every time you click it, 3 jets come alive. It's unbelievable. Big tank that's on it. This is even how I explain to the customer. And today it's only $12.99. But we're running a special. Buy 2 for $20. I'll take 2. Well, you're going to need a can of butane to go with that because you got to refill it. It's $5.99. Okay, I'll take that too. That's called an add-on, the whole thing. $25.99 just happened. $26 was added to the order. Most cigar stores, their average ring is $25. That is our add-on. Mine is $64.
Your average ring is $64. That's awesome.
And we do it over and over and over, and we have the same customers, right? It's not like we got a whole bunch of new customers that come in all the time. And like you said, you have these all over the place. They keep buying them, and they keep buying them. I'm like, when are they going to stop buying these things? The answer is never. They just keep buying them and buying them and buying them. So we come to a trade show like this, and if it's $1 off per lighter, I'll take 10,000.
How do you train your staff? Because it sounds like
I'd say that. Okay,
you just work with them.
Yep. Here's how we do this.
You treat them like a customer.
That's how we do it. And every customer should be asked, this is customer service.
Right.
Do you need a lighter or a cutter today? The answer is yes. We only ask yes questions anyway because you do need one. Whether you have one on or you are not, you need one, right?
Right.
So it's a yes question. And the person says, do you need one? No, I brought one with me. Okay, lighter and a cutter? Yes, I did. Okay, do you need refill butane gas? You know what? I could use that. Okay. It's customer service. Do
you have community cutter?
We have it in the thing. We call it the slobber cutter.
Yeah.
Because people put the cigar in their mouth and they cut it and they say, why do you call it that? And then they say, okay, I'll take one of those cutters, right? Customer service.
That is intentional.
Yes. Absolutely. Everything is intentional.
You're not cleaning that thing.
So I got these glasses. I never had glasses before. I go to the eyeglass place, $1,000 for a pair of glasses, because I thought it was absurd. It was $1,000 and I can see.
$1,000?
$1,000.
Wow.
So they put the glasses and they say, I go, oh, it's unbelievable because it's these, I can read really good and I can see far away. And I say, yeah, transitions. I go out into the sun, they change color to become sunglasses. I said, it's fantastic. I couldn't be happier. I leave. I get home that night and I said, hey, what do you think? I can see you. To my wife, I say, I can see you beautiful. She says, got fingerprints all over your glasses. Because I don't know to hold it like this or whatever. I'm grabbing it and I'm new to eyeglasses. And she said, I said, oh, okay. And I go get a piece of paper towel to clean my glasses. She says, no, no, no. You don't want to do that.
Scratch them.
You got to get this fiber cloth thing. And I said, where do I get that? And she says, they should have had it there. I said, all right, I'll go there tomorrow morning. So I go there tomorrow morning. And I said, oh, do you have the fiber cloth to clean this? And she said, yeah, we have it right here. And I said, okay, just give me a few of those. And I said, how much are they? And she says, oh, you could just have them. And I said, well, I'd gladly pay for them because it took me 20 minutes to come here and 20 minutes to go back. Why didn't you tell me yesterday that I needed those fiber cloths?
And the solution.
Which became another whole thing. I got to go back again because they got to sell me the solution. Then, after a while, it starts getting loose here, and I need a little teeny screwdriver that I knew nothing about, and they didn't sell me that either. Please sell me everything I need to have a great experience. Imagine buying a torpedo.
Love it.
You're the one that they say, hey, you pick the cigars up, we're going golfing. You don't know anything about cigars. So you go there and somebody says, get Monte Cristos. So you go in there and you say, Monte Cristo, the guy told me the number 2 is the one to get. Okay, why do you want Monte Cristo number 2? Well, somebody told me this is the one to get. Okay, I'm going to give you exactly what you want. Monte Cristo number 2 is a torpedo. Now you take the 4 cigars, and I don't say anything to you, and you go show up at the golf. Nobody has a cutter.
No lighter.
You got torpedo. I don't know what you're going to do. Somebody's got a book of matches in their pocket. So 4 people huddling around the golf course with a match trying to light it because we didn't have the decency as retailers to make sure they have everything to have a great experience,
right,
which is a lighter and a cutter at the very minimal that they ended up doing. Here's a lighter for $12.99 with 3 flames that's going to light up beautiful on the golf course and light that cigar beautiful. And by the way, we're running a special today. They're 2 for $20, and you're going to need the fuel for it. Thank you is what you're going to get. You're not going to be, this guy tried to sell me.
I have the tools.
You have what you need to have a great experience.
Right.
So I did not have a great experience with these glasses. I had to go back 3 times because that lady did not tell me what I needed to have a great experience. Maybe she felt like she was selling me, but selling is customer service. Sell me what I need.
Right.
Maybe not necessarily what I don't need, but sell me what I at least need.
Sure.
Buy a toy for a kid. It's his birthday.
No batteries.
And there's no batteries, exactly. And you show up, and here's the truck, and it's going to blink, and it's going to do all the thing, and the kid opens up, and he's happy as a clam. Oh, my God, I got it. I can't wait to use it this moment. But it takes 4 double D batteries.
And you might
didn't give it to him. Right.
Sometimes
and you didn't do that. Now the kid's crying. You meant to do something nice. You got a crying kid because you gave him something that he can't use and have a good experience.
And guess what? The toy store may not have the batteries.
Shame on Shame on you.
Isn't that crazy?
So
do you do that with everything?
Everything.
You do think it out. Does your wife just go, shut up?
You know, I do it when I'm not in my own store. I do it in everybody's store, which is the problem.
And with everything you buy.
Yeah. So we go to a restaurant, and the waitress station is over here, and you know, we order our drinks or something, and the waitress has to go all the way back over there to get whatever it is. And I go, they could move the thing over here, or she could have the straws in her pocket that's here,
right,
or whatever. And she says, can you just sit here and enjoy yourself? And I go, I am enjoying myself. But it bothers.
It's ingrained in me.
Yes, but it bothers other people. But I find it fascinating, and everything can be improved, including my store, because I have blinders on in my own store. And one of my buddies went in before, and he goes, Dave, I walked through the door. What's this? And I had a milk crate covered with a cloth because I needed to raise something up. But he couldn't see it because I put a black cloth that was over it. And he goes, what's this? And I said, well, I needed to raise this up. He goes, that's not you. This is not you. But he was bothered by it because he knew me for so long. And I go, you're right. I got to do it.
Thanks for calling me out.
Yes.
Good friend.
Yes.
That's great.
Absolutely.
Great.
And that's how you got to look at it, especially when somebody comes to me. I'm brutally honest. They ask me, and I go, you want me to tell you, somebody come in with a fake box of Cuban cigars, and they go, hey, Dave, what do you think of these? And I go, if you like them, enjoy them, or whatever. Right. No, tell me, these are the ones. I go, you want to do this? Do you want to do this? And he's like, yeah. I'm afraid I'm going to lose a customer. I'm going to lose a friend. It's a glass top slide box Cohiba
Right.
that you paid $5 per cigar for that go for $45 a cigar. And no, they're not even close. Well, you want to try one? No, I don't even want to try one. Let me tell you,
Get that out of my shop.
Yeah, did you get this on the
Beach?
on the beach from a guy? And you think, yes, I did. And I said, by the way, you smoke these $3 cigars. You don't even buy a $5 cigar from me, but you did from them.
Yeah. You're $3 better quality.
Right, right.
Yeah. All right, I got to ask about lighter and cutter, because I see it in retail when the person is new and you just talked about selling them everything. They go into the humidor, they got to make a bunch of decisions. There's a lot, what is the rule? Like, people can make 3 decisions and then after that they kind of get overwhelmed.
Give them 3 choices. Give them
3 choices.
Yeah.
So they've made like 3 choices on cigars. Now I'm like, okay, now you need a lighter and a cutter. And what I can't stand more than anything is when they say, well, there's all these lighters, and there's no like you're not like pointing me to just the one thing that might help me. Like, why do I have to then make a choice on 16 different lighters and 4 different cutters?
You did it good when I showed you this, then you explained right away that it was 3 jets.
Because that's what I would do. I would do pretty much what you did, but you did it great.
That is awesome, and that's what you have to actually do, is tell them the benefits of these different things. So as much as they may going to be asked you questions, as a great salesperson, you need to ask questions also,
right,
to find out what type of thing, or
just limit it for them. If you just need a
lighter,
you look
at the person. I'm looking at your watch. I look at your shoes. I get an idea of what you are and what you're going to like. Then I'm going to show you things based on that. That I would not sell you this lighter. It would be something more flashy. And let me take you over here.
But this might be what I want. Maybe going golfing, it's like perfect.
Well, that's going to happen when you get to the register anyway. But you came in for a lighter. I'm going to show you something else, and then I'm going to say,
that SC DuPont.
Yeah.